Alright, I know the Rangers lost Game 4, so there will be no sweep of the Carolina Hurricanes, and their undefeated playoff streak is now over. But if you're a Rangers fan, there's still a ton of positives you can draw from that Game 4. That "no quit in New York" slogan really seems to fit this team. It feels like no matter what happens, they almost always have a chance to come back in the game, and their offense has been clicking at a stupid rate. Their top offensive players have really stepped up. Chief among the positives, though, has got to be Alexis Lafreniere carrying over a great regular season into arguably an even better playoffs. After going pointless in 7 playoff games last year, the guy's got 10 in 8 games this year. That's good for third on the roster this postseason. And especially in this second round, they've been huge goals for the team that either gave them the lead or tied it up in a really key spot. And man, that bank shot he scored in the last game, a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's a lucky goal, hope and a prayer. I don't see it that way. You can see him think about going around the net, but then he takes a peek and sees that Anderson's off his post, realizes there's some daylight there, and uses Anderson to his advantage. He also had to time it perfectly to get it behind Anderson before he shuts the door, and before these two sticks converge on him. It was a pretty savvy play. Now, nobody's saying the kid's game is perfect. Like on the second Carolina goal, he definitely could have done a better job defensively, and it's part of the reason he ended the night as a minus. But holy, has this kid come a long way, even just from last year when he was getting healthy scratched, put on the fourth line, trade rumors swirling around him. It's part of the reason he's only signed for 2 years at under $2.5 million. Now he's one of the team's biggest key players on what's been a great playoff run for this Rangers team so far, which is what he was drafted to be when he was taken first overall. Look, it's one thing to have a really good regular season when you're putting up points against teams like San Jose and Chicago, but to step up in times like this against a really good Carolina team, it's definitely an eye-opener. And look, it's one thing to live up to the #1 overall superstar label right away, but one of the things I love the most in the NHL is when a guy that a lot of people were calling a bust ends up shedding that label and becoming a 60-goal scorer in the NHL like Nail Yakupov. Sorry, Nail, hope you're doing well, and you'll always have a special place in my heart for the sliding center ice goal. Man, that was awesome. But for real, like, go check out Joe Thornton's first 3 years in the NHL. It wasn't a cakewalk for the guy. Like, it took time. It was a gradual process. Now, by no means am I saying that Alexis Lafreniere is the next Joe Thornton. It's just a really good example of, hey, sometimes patience with these types of guys really pays off. And that's exactly what the Rangers did. They easily could have traded this guy and thought, oh, it's better for him and for us if he gets a fresh start somewhere else. Instead, they're reaping some pretty big rewards with him right now, especially in these playoffs. Also, Peter Laviolette definitely deserves some credit for this too. This was not working under Gerard Gallant. Now, I wouldn't say it's 100% his fault, but I also don't think it's just a coincidence that as soon as Laviolette shows up, Lafreniere starts playing like this. I think it's a bit of both, his development arc just naturally hitting a new stage, and the coaching. Now, I'm uploading this the day of Game 5 in New York. This and the Vancouver-Edmonton series have been neck and neck, my two favorites in the whole second round, maybe even in the whole playoffs. My gut says the Rangers end it tonight, which, knowing me, that probably means Carolina's going to win. But out of all 4 games, we haven't had a snoozer yet, so I at least feel pretty confident in saying it's going to be a fun one. I'm going to say 3-2 Rangers. Let me know your predictions on the game tonight's score and team who wins. If you want more Rangers or Hurricanes content, make sure you like the video to let me know. Subscribe if you're new. Haven't covered anything on the Dallas-Colorado series yet, so that's definitely something I want to do in the coming days, as well as the other 3, of course. I'll see you in the next one. You're awesome.